This podcast episode is sponsored by Heckham Senior Home Financing.
Good day, seniors and active adults. Welcome back to our YouTube podcast, Get Your Weekly Slice, where we protect, inform, and educate you, our seniors and active adults, every week about what you should know as you age. It is about keeping you, our seniors, in the know. Today, I'm going to talk about what you should know about senior living affordability. And it's going to be a 3-part series. And I'm going to share what type of funds are available out there that you might not have thought of when you were presented as to what it's going to cost for you or your loved one to move into an independent, assisted, or memory care community. It's expensive. I get it. But there's a security issue for people who need that and that social interaction when they move into those type of communities. And I just, again, want to share with you what's out there available that you might not have thought about that would help pay that enormous amount of money on a monthly basis to these type of communities. First and foremost, there's cash. I do know that some baby boomers will save their cash in all different types of locations. They'll put it in their top drawer of their dresser. I always joke that if someone needs money, they just need to go in the backyard and dig up one of the coffee cans with their cash in it. Or else there's been a saying that a lot of people call it mattress money, where they hide it underneath their mattress in their bed. Or when I remember when I was power of attorney for my great aunt, and I had to move her into a community, and then we had to liquidate her home. Fortunately, she was very frugal. There wasn't a lot to liquidate. And I met a couple of my family members and my nieces and nephews over there, and we worked on that house one afternoon. And what we did is we assigned their bookcase to some of the nieces and nephews, and what they found was money. So in the books, so just want to keep that in mind when you're liquidating. People always wanted to hide some of their cash. And I think we found almost $1,200 in assorted books throughout their bookcase. So that's just an example of cash, where it can be hid, or, and in other situations I've heard, not necessarily here in Florida, but up in the Midwest, Northeast, they would hide it in the basement behind some bricks. But again, the basements are always damp, and that money might mold up, or eventually it won't be worth anything because it's in terrible condition. So that's just a couple examples of cash and where it can be located, or what people have done in the past. Another form or a way to access money is through life insurance policies. You can cash some life insurance policies if you need the money now, or, and what I'm finding out is with some of the whole life policies that people took out 40, 50 years ago when they were in their adolescence and 20s, they bought a life insurance policy. And in most cases, I'm surprised they're still paying that monthly premium. And I want people to understand, with life insurance policies, it might be worth 50,000 and it might be worth 100,000. But in any case, the accumulation of that cash value over the years is not going to go to your heirs. So if it's a $50,000 policy, and let's just say you had it for 40 to 50 years, and the cash value is say 20,000. So you would think that when you pass, your family or heirs would receive $70,000. Well, that's not the case. What they would receive is 50,000, the face value of the policy, and the $20,000 cash value stays with the insurer. That's why I think it's important, if you're doing that and still paying that premium, there's a way that you can have that cash value take care of that monthly or annual premium and still keep that policy in force. And you're using the money and cash value to do that. So just a little tidbit on that one. The other thing is you can sell your home. And a lot of people have value in their home. And that's basically the first conversation a lot of independent assisted memory care communities will have with you is, do you own your home? And a good majority of people who are transitioning into those communities do own their home. They do own it outright. And that is a way, and I want you to appreciate this. Not all realtors will do this. Because my niche is working with seniors and active adults, I'm a certified senior housing professional. And what I offer to the families of seniors and active adults and themselves is that I want them to get the most money for their home. And if they're looking to sell that home, what I always offer is a free upfront appraisal to ensure that we get you the most money. And I pay for that. As long as you allow me to list and sell that home. So I want to share that with you. The other thing is, not all, but a lot of people might want or have investment properties. So you can sell those off. Again, I offer the same as I do with a regular owner occupant home to provide you a free appraisal, again, to get you the most money. You can sell those investment properties or you continue to hold them. And and what I would do if you held them, that would be the expense that the income that you make off of that will help pay for that expense that you have moving into an independent assisted memory care community. So that's just food for thought as well. And that way you have a steady stream of income. You're going to have a property management company take care of that while you're in the community, but that's fine because it's an expense and you're looking for expenses. And keep in mind, moving into that independent assisted memory care community can help offset that.
This is Tim Linger. I'm your reverse mortgage professional. The federal government, FHA, has a very safe type of reverse mortgage for those 62 and above that live in their own home. How would you like to pull out 40 to 50% of your home's equity with optional monthly mortgage payments for the rest of your life? The basic rules are you must be 62 and above and live in the home. Give me a call. Again, this is Tim, 321-356-9229.
Not all people have vacant land. Now, I'm experiencing as a realtor and working with seniors and active adults where some people have inherited vacant land when their parents have passed or their aunts and uncles. Some of this vacant land was purchased 40, 50, and in some cases 60 years ago, and they just been paying the taxes, hoping that someday it would be worth some money. Well, that someday is here because land is a commodity. And keep in mind, most people who are millionaires and billionaires, 90% of their portfolio is land. And that's where they made their money. Again, you got to give kudos to the parents or grandparents who bought land back in the day for next to nothing, but they bought it as an investment for their family as time went on. So that's always an option. And if you can go through some of your paperwork that you received once your parents or aunts and uncles had passed or deceased, to see if there might be some titles or deeds within within the findings of the paperwork that you received. So that's an option. Also, keep in mind some seniors and active adults, because of what's going on in our world, they'll have equity in their home, but they're unsure of how to tap into that equity. And there's several ways you can do that. And one way is to establish an equity line of credit, where you go to the bank, you get an equity line of credit, and whenever you need additional monies, you just tap into that, and you'll be able to get that based off of, because you already own your home. But it's that old saying that you're cash poor but house rich. It just depends on how you can access that money. Now, keep in mind, there's for for seniors and active adults who are 62 years of age or older, if you feel that you're in a situation that you're having trouble making ends meet, and you know your house is paid for, again, you can do that equity line of credit. But you can also do the HECM loan for purchase. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but these are a lot better than they used to be in the form of the reverse mortgage. The HECM loan for purchase provides you the vehicle, but you have to be 62 years of age or older, or your spouse, one of you have to be over, even if one is under 62 years of age. That HECM is not for everybody. But again, if you're in a situation that your monthly bills are just piling up and you're becoming in more debt and you're using credit cards more, this is an option. It's not, again, for everybody, but this will eliminate a lot of your stress when it comes to your home and your indebtedness. So there's different ones. You can get an outright payoff. Keep in mind, if your home, and I'm going to give you an example, if your home is worth 300,000, you're going to get financed for about 150, 160,000. And it depends on what age you are. If you're 62, 65, 70, 75, or 80 when you want to do this. And a lot of people will use this because they want to still stay in their home. But again, they're getting annihilated with credit card debt, phone calls from creditors, etc. And it's just too much stress. So keep in mind, you can get a mortgage for 160,000. If it's 300,000, that means you have 140,000 in like available funds. You can use that immediately to pay down your debt, or you can use it as a line of credit, just like the equity line of credit, and you can know that you have access to that. Keep in mind, with the HECM, it's optional monthly mortgage payments. Now you can go out and get a financing, regular financing, and to pay your debts, but you have to make that monthly mortgage payment. But using the HECM affords you the opportunity to make optional mortgage payments. So you can make them if you'd like, And if you feel that you're going to be pinched one month, or taxes are coming due, or there was something that you had to purchase for the house, like an AC, or had some plumbing or electrical work done, or the roof replaced, what you can do is you can skip that penalty. You can skip that monthly payment without any penalty. So it just depends what your situation is and how and what your comfort level is going to be utilizing this type of financing tool. So I do have experts that can, again, I could set up an appointment with them so they can share with you what's available, how it works, and keep in mind that what will happen is that you'll have to go through like a training, so you really have a complete understanding of what it's about. And I know there's a lot of myths out there for the HECM slash the reverse mortgage, and the myths are you lose your house, etc. That's not the case. And I'm going to give you some examples, some stories of families that I have directed them and who have used the HECM loan for purchase, and how it's helped them out with their situation, because they're all different. Again, they're not for everybody, but they can work wonders for a lot of people. So I want you to keep that in mind when we're looking for ways to find you money to make it affordable to move into an independent assisted memory care community. These are just a few, and I'll go into more in my next series, part 2. But I just want to share with you what's available and how we can have that discussion if you're at that point of trying to figure out how you're going to fund yourself moving from your current living to your future living. And one other thing, and I kind of laugh about it, is a lot of us active adults and seniors have had hobbies throughout the years. My hobby was baseball cards, and some have comics, some have dolls, Barbies, etc., coins, whatever it is. But keep in mind, you might have those, you might inherited some of those from your parents, grandparents, aunts or uncles, or your siblings. My, in particular, is baseball cards. I have, back in the 80s, there was always one baseball card company, which was Topps, but I have boxes that I have saved. Now it's almost 40 years of the other ones, Score, Donruss, Flair, etc., that I've saved over the years. And it's always in a cycle. And that cycle here in the early 2020s is starting to surface again. So it makes me look and see what I have in inventory, what I could sell them for. And again, it's just another source of funding to help me when that time comes, if I have to transition into independent assisted or memory care community. So with that, I'll leave it out there. And if you have any questions, just reach out. I have the trusted resources and services to help you. And I look forward for you and me to get together, and so you can see part 2 of the series, Senior Living Affordability. In closing, I hope you enjoyed today's Get Your Weekly Slice. If you'd like to discuss further today's topic, you can reach me via email at mike@your, Y-O-U-R, Florida, spelled out, Haven, Haven.com, or call me at 407-340-5291 to set up an appointment. I provide a free 1.5-hour in-person meeting to discuss your future plans on aging, while providing you a minimum of 3 options to choose from. Don't forget to follow us and like us on Facebook and Instagram. While on my website at yourfloridahaven.com, sign up for my monthly newsletter, RSV to any of my in-person events, which are held at the Orange County Library, Smarter Senior Seminar Series events, and to view any and all of my videos and podcasts. We hope these podcasts are helpful, and if they are, please share with your friends, family, and neighbors by letting them know what we offer as certified senior housing professionals, designated real estate agents, to our seniors and active adults as they age. We're a connector. It is about keeping seniors in the know. Till next time, when you come back to get your weekly slice.
This podcast episode is sponsored by Hecum Senior Home Financing.